of course, we had the WWE Heavyweight Championship. So the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre at 6'5" and 265 pounds.
What an athlete!
Absolutely, against the WWE Heavyweight Champion and Big E, who's 285. I got to be honest. I honestly thought McIntyre would win, and I thought that they'd given E his go. And albeit, okay, we've acknowledged you, we've given it to you, we've done the politically correct thing, and we've had another black champion, but you're really a transitional champ. But, you know, not a bad match. I'm going a little bit early with my score, but I actually gave it a 7 out of 10.
I went 6.5.
Okay, so close.
6.5 close. No, I like the match. Match was solid.
Yeah, they were good.
Solid without doing anything over dramatic. I tell you now, McIntyre, what an athlete. What a genetic
belly to belly he gave him from outside of the ring.
6'5", 270. Is that right? 265 kip up.
Yeah, he does
like nothing. Like nothing. Flies in the air with that Claymore kick. Yeah, you know, just ridiculous.
Last time I flew in the air like that is I slipped going down the driveway with it.
Slipping in the shower for me.
Oh.
But no, seriously, in all seriousness, just
he's an athlete.
I like Big E, right?
I'm not as big a fan. I don't know what it is.
He's a good, hard, he's a
lovely bloke. I mean, everybody loves him.
He's a good journeyman.
Yeah.
He's a good journeyman wrestler, right? But is he WWE champion? I don't know. I don't know if I'll be hanging my hat on that hook, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just
obviously he's there for a reason. Somebody in the brain trust of WWE feels that that's where it needs to go.
And again, maybe this is working towards that triple threat at Mania between the 3 New Day members.
I still don't think that, in my opinion, I could be wrong. People that will listen to this podcast going, Manson, you're a dickhead. But I don't think that's going to put bumps on seats as they think it's going to be. Is it bust up? I think
they think it will, because they've been so close for so long, so successful, so funny and entertaining, although not always. But depending how they lead into it, who turns first, which will probably be Woods. Does Kofi then really want Big E's title? It's hard to know how they might. There's a few ways. If done properly, it could be really, really interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know.
But talking about the match itself, Anthony, there was some really, really good spots. That massive belly-to-belly suplex to Big E. There was a really solid start. I thought it was a real sort of heavyweight contest. But they weren't trying to necessarily fly around like two Finn Balor's or something. That jumping spine buster on Big E, and he sort of spiked him. Like there were some good big moves, But how did you see this one?
I saw this, and Manson can attest to this. I was saying why? Like, why with McIntyre? Why this? I was like just pretty much yelling at the TV pretty much. Yeah, but he's going over SmackDown though.
Yeah, I mean, that was always a giveaway that he wasn't going to win for a start. I didn't like to say that because it sounds like we were always bagging them, but that was a given he wasn't going to win.
Yeah, he wasn't going to win.
I would like to have seen them win because I think he's a better champion, But
the problem with McIntyre is, and you can disagree with me if you like here, they pretty much went, cool, here's a belt at the Mania previous to the last one, holds it throughout the pandemic era, then loses it to Orton for like 2 weeks, and it wins it back, and then continues on until he loses it to The Miz. The problem with it, though, and I'm going to use this word again, they hot-shotted McIntyre. It wasn't a slight...
know
I don't
that
agree
they
that he got
hot
hot-shotted.
shotted him, but
No, that's you're not using that term in the right context when you say hot shot him. Hot shotting him would be if they brought him out with like 20 mates and they all gang bash the guy, and then all of a sudden you got the pin 1, 2, 3. I mean, no, look, I would say that. Let's look at McIntyre over the pandemic period. Good, solid champion. Didn't have to put bums on seats. Bums were on seats on TV. He wasn't drawing people just watching the TV. I don't think WWE has the confidence in him. They put him on a marquee that he's going to draw. And that's the reality. Is the Big E, they put him on a marquee. He's going to bring in that 5 to 12-year-old demographic that they want. That's going to fill all the kids up in the seats because he's part of the New Day. I think that's where it's at more than ability, right? I think and obviously wrestling's not about ability. Wrestling's about getting over. So I think that with McIntyre, I don't think they feel he gets over. I don't think they feel that he has that wrinkle. He's a good mid-card journeyman, even though he's a great athlete.
Oh,
and if I had a promotion, he'd be the champion every day of the week in an indie promotion. But obviously, if you're looking at demographics and you're looking at marketing and you're looking at all the other things that these companies look at, they must feel that he doesn't have the marketing or ability or the ability to draw bumps on seats and draw new people to be interested in the organisation. I think they feel maybe Big E does, right? So I think that's there. How can I say with McIntyre? McIntyre, if he could find the Hulk Hogan wrinkle, that thing that makes him a draw, you got money. Look at Rock, right? How much difference between McIntyre, was saying in ability, McIntyre and The Rock has? I would say McIntyre would have more physical ability. He's probably a better wrestler. Charisma. That's it.
That's the word.
Bums on seats.
There was one of the greatest wrestlers I ever saw, going back many, many moons, and he was actually the NWA Junior World Champion. English guy by the name of Les Thornton.
Yeah.
Even in New Zealand, they couldn't get him over because he had no charisma. He was dry. Lovely guy. Absolutely lovely guy. Wrestled in WWE, wrestled in NWA and everywhere else, was the World Junior Champion. Yeah, had everything. No charisma. They just couldn't get him over, even in New Zealand.
That's right. And that's the problem.
That's the problem, yeah.
That's the problem with McIntyre. It's not ability. Shit, no. Ability and looks. But he's not getting over.
I mean, Hogan was no great worker. But
no.
But just the charisma and the gimmick and the whole thing, I mean, you know, and it's sad. It's sad because there are a lot of really, really good workers with no charisma.
That's exactly right. And that's where that's the problem with well, it's not the problem. That's what the business is all about, is getting over.
Yeah.
And if you can't get over, but you're a good worker, then your job then is to feed the guys with charisma with good enough matches to get them over. That's your job in the business. I think the problem with the indie circuit and what the indie era of our business has done is everybody has to get over and everybody has to be a winner. It's not true.
No,
it's not true. If you want to make money, right, you let the guy that's getting over get over, let him fill the arena, then you get paid for it for jobbing out to him. That's what the business is really about.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's like saying, well, I'm going to run a promotion and everyone's a face. You can't do it.
No, you can't. But that's the problem with
it just doesn't happen. But I mean, it was a really, really solid,
really great match. Yeah, great.
Power moves. He did that Michinoku driver, suplexes, pin attempts. You know, that Uranagi by Big E, and then the big Glasgow kiss, which of course I don't think we're going to see too many of them kisses over at that climate thing in Glasgow shortly. But
you never know.
Well, you never know.
Might be a few headbutts there.
Scott Morrison might be kissing someone's butt. But I thought I didn't like the end. I thought it was a really soft finish for a good match. Like, misses the Claymore, the big ending is put on. They battled on a bit, but then all of a sudden they just did another big ending, and that was the pin.
I don't like that finisher anyway.
I think it's stupid.
I don't like that finisher.
I don't like it in the slightest. But then Big E retains and goes to Raw with the title, as we sort of assumed would happen, given what Anthony was saying before. What's his name? Oh, God, help me. McIntyre, off the SmackDown tonight, and, he might try and start some sort of run with Roman Reigns, although, Brock's obviously still there. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But, hard to see what they might do with them over there.
Well, look, I think that, like I said, I think that unless he works out some way of developing some real drawing power, right, I can't see them doing much with him. I think he's played his hand. It might be better for him to go somewhere else for a little while and create a new wrinkle and come back.
Yeah.
I say that I don't know how old he is. I'm not sure how old he is.
Mid to late 30s.
Well, then he's probably just got enough time.
Yeah, just
got enough time to say go to NWA, create a new wrinkle, and come back.
Well, he's gone away and come back. So
and come back. Oh, I think he could.
Yeah.
I think he's at a point now. There's not much left for him. I don't see it.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I think he's got to the point with it. That he's just going to be mid-carding and jobbing out. It's time to go away and come back with something.
Maybe they put him with his good mate Sheamus and make them tag team champions on Raw. Although he's not on Raw now, but that's that. If you're going to do something, because Sheamus is sort of in the same boat, isn't he? Yeah. He's sort of done it all. There's not really much more to achieve.
Yeah,
I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, he's been a tag team champion.
He wasn't he with Cesaro?
Yeah, Cesaro. They've held it a couple of times.
Okay, very good. Well, there you go.
But even then, it can be held again. But I think that I think both those guys are in a position with Cesaro, right?
Yeah, I'm quite miffed. He's just not seemed to be, because he is getting over. He's liked. He's good. Yeah,
he's not getting any younger though. If he doesn't react or do something now.
Yeah, but they're going to give him the push.
Yeah, but sometimes look, it's like working in local industries, right?
Yeah.
If you're working and you're mid-carding for a promotion and somebody else is offering you a gig where you're going to be in the upper end of the card and be able to work your own gimmick, you go there, because even though you'd like to work for the other promotion you're mid-carding for, once they see what you're doing on the other show, you get a phone call.
Yeah.
Generally you'll get a call. Hey, or you're doing that over there and it's working real well. Can you come and do it over here? So I think those three guys we're talking about, right, which are not really utilising too well at the moment, could probably end up at they're not going to get told from Impact or that to go away. They're just not going to make as much money.
No.
So it all depends on what you're happy with.
Yeah.
Are you happy with just collecting a paycheck and saying I'm a professional wrestler? Or do you want to be the star of the show? If you want to be the star of the show, then you will go away, reinvent yourself and come back. If you're happy to collect that paycheck and work out until you're 40, 42, 45, and then they say, see you later, it's the individual.
Yeah, true.